able to see that there is light, even if you are surrounded by darkness. It is with the words of Desmond Tutu, Monsignor Desmond Tutu, that I want to say good morning and welcome to another edition of Cameroon Feeling. I want to say a special thank you to Diane Gassa, who is continuing to entertain you and keep you company on CRTV Daylight. That's on CRTV News. But if you choose to wake up with CRTV Premium, that's where we are. It's every day at 8:10. It's either going to be myself, Pochi Tambanso, or Eric Christiania, my partner in this kind of business. Well, let's start right away. You probably know that Fumban is the city that hosted a famous set of people who discussed the Constitution of Cameroon. That Constitution is subject of a lot of discussions, even as I speak to you right now. But maybe you do not know that Fumban is the cradle of much more of our history together. Well, in our page of Did You Know today, Kembe Ngochi has been trying to find out more about Fumban. Here is Kembe Ngochi telling us about Fumban. Let's learn together.
Fumban, the capital of the Bamum Kingdom in the West region, is without doubt the cultural showpiece of the traditional civilization in the Republic of Cameroon. Since its foundation, the Bamum Kingdom has gone through an excitingly creative evolution. Bamum was one of the kingdoms in Cameroon that collaborated closely with the German colonizers. After a slow start, the German colonial empire expanded to include Cameroon in August 1884, but the German administration did not reach Bamum territory until 1902. Like a truly savvy political leader, the young ruler of the Bamum, Sultan Joya, responded strategically to diplomatic intelligence by choosing to cooperate rather than oppose what was clearly a stronger military power. Historians argue that Sultan Joya may have perceived that building an alliance with the Germans would further strengthen his own position and Bamum's dominance of the grasslands. In this way, the Bamum were allowed so much autonomy that the incidents of colonialism slightly upset the traditional structure of the society until 1916, when the French replaced the Germans. Fumban, a town in former French Cameroon, is associated in Cameroon with the constitutional talks that provided the framework for joining the two post-colonial Cameroons, the Fumban Constitutional Conference. This was certainly not the face of Fumban many years back, following a glaring metamorphosis in almost every sphere. Fumban is one of Cameroon's major attractions and an important center of traditional African art. Its jewel is the Palais Royal, seat of power for the Bamun people. The ruler of the Bamun is known as the Sultan, and the Bamun can trace their lineage to their Sultan back to 1394. The palace, completed in 1917, resembles a medieval chateau. It houses the Sultan's Museum, which contains a multitude of royal gowns, arms, musical instruments, statues, jewelry, masks, and colorful bead-covered thrones carved in the shapes of men who sat on them. Artwork is a major source of income, and many rely on it for their living. There is an art market, a tourist center, and a museum called Musée des Arts et des Traditions Bamun. Due to its very rich and fertile soil, the government of Cameroon has established a research center to develop local hybrid seeds to expand on the agricultural sector. The Institute of Agricultural Research for Development, IRAD, has engaged the community in partnership with the government in developing large-scale fishing. Other economic activities include cattle rearing and palm oil production. Fumban's rich history and development has seen it surpass other cities and towns in the region, as it continues to attract hundreds of visitors on a regular basis.
Welcome back. You're watching Cameroon Feeling, and we are in the second week of this experience. So some of you might still be wondering what is happening with the CRTV's Wake Up programs. Well, we changed the way we want to wake you up. We start at 6 o'clock with Jan Gassa on CRTV News, which is our baby channel. And we're going to be doing it in tandem. At 8:10, we will come in CRTV Premium. It will either be myself, Pochita Manso, or Eric Christian Nya at 8:10 to pick up so that we wrap up at 10 o'clock. Cameroon Feeling. Now, this is the moment when we receive somebody who is totally exciting. This young man that I'm about to receive and talk with right now is coming from Gaoundéré. He graduated with a master's and is a PhD student. And we'll first be talking about some of the opportunities that the U.S. Embassy in Cameroon is offering you out there. We'll also look at his very colorful background. He is somebody who knows about rice farming, who knows about working and supporting people in dangerous areas. They call those such areas red zones when you're up north. We'll be talking about all of that right away with Joseph Daliwa by Nnamdi. Good morning, Joseph. Do you want to just come over and let's have a little chat? Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Please sit down. I'm very happy to have you on the program today.
Thank you.
All right. Just so you know you're comfortable, we have some tea. Do you do tea in the northern parts of Cameroon?
Yes, but mostly chai.
Mostly chai.
Yes.
When you go back, send us some chai so we can have some on the set. But you have different kinds of tea that you can feel free. Should I serve you?
Thanks.
What would you like? Choose yours. You like
yeah.
The yellow one? Everybody loves the yellow one. So, Joseph Daliwa by Nnamdi, while you're serving yourself tea, who are you? How would you present yourself to people who are discovering you?
As you mentioned, I'm Joseph Daliwa by Nnamdi. Especially, I'm the West Africa Regional Advisory Board member, the yearly program, and also a Mandela Washington Fellow, 2017 alumni actually. I'm also a founder and chairman of Action for Youth and Environment, one organization based in Far North region, where we are working, especially in red zone, as you mentioned during the emission.
When you say red zone, what do you mean by red zone?
When I'm saying red zone, it's especially area where there are always terrorist attacks, where the security is not really good, and where also the population is really poor and they have not many opportunities that other or youth or population have.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you graduated from the University of Gaoundéré with a master's, but if you were to tell me about who you were before you got into the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program or the Yali program, how would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as one-year leaders, always hardworking and looking for opportunities, and also gathering you to think further about their future and believe in themselves that it's possible to succeed, especially in Cameroon. Okay.
You're here so we talk about the different opportunities that the U.S. Embassy has in Cameroon, and also about a fair that the Yali fellows are going to be having. But let me ask you, why would a young man like you, what pushes you to stand out from the crowd? I'm asking you this question because I'm hoping you inspire some other young persons who are surrounded by negativity so they can come out like you came out of it.
What pushed me, especially my dream. You know, when you dream and you have your passion and your vision, you should stick on it and work for it, because it's really hard when you know that you are firstly born in Cameroon. For sure, you should know that the condition will be hard for you.
Okay.
You should work hard and hard to reach your goals. And that's why I am out amongst all those youth. And I think that they can also do more than me by believing in themselves and also stay focused on their goals.
Okay. Now, let me find out from you about the Yali program you got involved in. How did you come across it, and how did it unfold for you? Where did you go to? What did you study?
Oh, the Yali program. The Yali program has especially 3 parts. We have the Yali Regional Center. When you are selected for this program, you are going to Ghana, Nigeria, or Senegal. And we have the second part is the Mandela Washington Fellowship.
Okay.
Those who are selected for this program, they are going to USA for trainings in special university there, the best especially. And also the last program is the Yali Network. You can have lessons online and have certificates. But me, I have been selected for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, and the Mandela Washington Fellowship has 3 tracks: civic leadership, public management, and business and entrepreneurship. Okay. Me, I have been selected for the business and entrepreneurship. I went to Purdue University in Indiana State, and I have also been selected for the PG Professional Development Experience, where I went to Missouri to do my internship in USDA Rural Development. Okay. I was the first Cameroonian in that state doing that special internship in the agriculture department.
We have more time with you, and we'll be talking a lot more with you, so settle down. But before we move to something else, to take a breather before we come back, just try to motivate people from your area, like young persons like you. When you meet young people and they are very fascinated by all what you're doing, what do you tell them to get them to start the journey?
I advise them firstly to plan very well their future, because in life we don't fail because we want to fail. Okay. But we fail because we how can I say, we don't plan to fail, but we fail to plan in our activities. Actually, youth, they are more distracted about football, watching TV. They waste their time. The first thing that I'm telling them is to stay focused on the activities, especially learning, because it's moment to learn when you are teenager, when you are before 30 years old. Just focus, learning, work very hard, because it's possible. I'm coming from really a poor family, and from a village, you know. I studied in Maga, where there were a flooding period, where our president
you
went
also
there.
have good fish there.
Well, exactly. So when I am in front of them, I'm saying them that I was in Maga. I did my primary school in those villages, but I benefited. I had those opportunities, and today I'm in front of you. So you can do also. You have those opportunities. You are learning where there's electricity. Me, I was learning where there were not even electricity. So,
Joseph, I'm happy to have you. You stay with me for a while. He says you can do it. I mean, he learned, he studied where there was no electricity. He's here full of resources to share with you about how to conquer the world. Because I think if you tap deeper, you'll see Joseph saying, I want to conquer all of these challenges and move forward. But we'll be talking a lot more about him shortly. Now, in your spare time, what kind of recreational activities do you do?
Firstly,
do you go dancing? Do you sing? Do you paint? What kind of things do you like to do?
I'm dancing, but too much tourism, because I
like to move around.
Yeah, to move around, because I'm also a tourist guy, so I like to move around, especially.
One of these days, you probably offer our team a tour of the areas you show around. Would love to. Tourism in Cameroon is always wow. But let's talk about painting. Ariane Sissimborg met this fabulous painter who is using the walls of houses to turn his imagination into real things. Just stay with us.
Roland is one of those youths who has embraced his job with passion and devotedness.
I'm trying to decorate the roof. Yeah. So before I came, there was plywood on it, but it wasn't really aesthetic. We couldn't work on it, so I had to get some tissue. For instance, what I have here, what you see already white came like this. Actually, this is not the fabric I used here, but it's another one. I use this Durabond, the gum the Shumendas usually use. Yeah, so you apply it on this, then apply on the surface. Allow it for about 15 minutes to get dry, then you put it together.
Paints and brushes are his everyday companions.
First of all, I need the paint. So I use Soetex for the decorations, because it's not like the other paints we use on the wall. That one is durable, and it's not as toxic also as like the oil paints. Yeah, so it has almost the same quality as oil paints, but it's less toxic. So, and I also need brushes, like some here. Then I also need what the person wants. So I use your ideas to make them, I materialize your ideas.
He uses walls of houses to give life to his imagination. What Roland does is called plastic art.
Plastic art, from the name, it's an art that deals with forms, lines, shapes, and color itself. So there are some that you can just use colors to make something impressive. Yeah, there are some that you need lines, you need forms. For instance, let's just take this one behind. So this one is just a landscape. So according to the client, she said she needed an extension of her house. So she doesn't just want something that will be blocked here. So I had to do something that has depth.
He was bitten by the drawing and painting bug since childhood.
From my childhood, I loved drawings and paintings. So along the way, I was in the University of Chang. I was doing animal biology. So that same year I went to university, they launched the concours into the School of Fine Arts of Umban. So I went there and furthered my paintings, and that's why I can come up with something like this. I use animals, humans, I just represent nature. Yeah, I represent Africa. I mostly represent what we have around us and Africa at large.
At 30, he lives off plastic art, which he has been practicing full-time for a year now. He says he is hanging in there despite the numerous challenges.
We are not really known. It's just something that most people say is new to us here. So the first difficulty is to have clients, those who really appreciate what you want. So that's the first difficulty. The second, as I said, is getting the material, and the third is getting them to pay, because we have to go convincing them that this is what we have. Can you have it in your homes too? We are there to make the place look beautiful. Can you allow me maybe decorate your house, put some things to make it different?
Roland has an artistic soul. He equally sings.
Thank you very much, Ariane Cecile Mbok, for that very colorful moment. If you're just joining us, you are on Cameroon Feeling on the CRTV. It's the second part of our Wake Up Show today. The first part is probably still going on CRTV News with Jan Gassa, and we enjoin you to stay with the CRTV as we work very hard to make sure that you wake up in the best style. Now, we were talking with Joseph Daliwa by Namdi. This is a very talented and very resourceful young person who is doing wonders in the northern parts of the Cameroon, and he's here to talk to us, among other things, about a fair that's in the making. Do you want to tell us about this fair that involves other young persons like you?
Exactly. The fair is the mission-driven outreach project funded by the U.S. Embassy, and it will gather all alumni from all programs funded by the U.S. Embassy. Okay. So in Cameroon, we are around 3,000 alumni. So it will be in Chamber of Commerce of Yaoundé, and it will start tomorrow and until Saturday. Okay. So it will be from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. especially, and everyone is invited, especially youth, leaders from organization, and also CEO of any company. So it's for everyone, this fair.
When you put together about 3,000 young persons like you, very talented, very helpful, very resourceful, what should those who want to come be expecting to see?
They will firstly meet all those fellows who benefited.
That's the color of Cameroon, you know.
Who benefited of one of these programs? Like we have IVLP. IVLP is International Visitor Leadership Program. Okay. One of our minister benefited also this program. We with the minister of the former minister of the finance.
Okay.
Actually, the minister of the Alamin Usman May.
Okay.
So he benefited.
Don't worry. I'm enjoying you saying benefits. I mean, that's the color of Cameroon, isn't it?
We have many professors from the university, many other leaders and CEO who will be there. So they will meet them, they will discuss with them, and those who would like to apply, they will have this opportunity to discuss with us on how to apply and have a good application.
Okay.
And also all opportunities that they can get within their community, even working or even at during their studies in their university.
Yes.
So we will talk about it, and we will have many debates with amazing panelists.
Joseph Daliwa, thank you so much. You could have chosen to go to the French language program, which is where you're more comfortable, but you choose to come to the English language program. Thank you. It's what I call the color of Cameroon, the beauty of Cameroon. So please feel free to speak. We're understanding you. We are getting you very well. Now, what is the objective? You know, it's good to have 3,000 young people with a lot of resources come together to get other people to maybe contaminate in a positive way other minds. But what is the objective that behind you organizing it? What are you hoping to achieve?
As the team is connect, inspire, impact, nursing the next generation of Cameroon leaders.
Okay.
So in that team, you understand already what we are planning to do. Okay. Because we want to meet all those young guys, fellows, students, leaders from Yaoundé or from the Cameroon who will be there to inspire them and share our impact within our different communities. Okay. And also tell them that we should build our countries, because we have all those different programs from many others from many others embassy funded by other countries.
Yes.
Well, if all of us gather together, discuss about the future of our country, about the future of our different communities, we can get somewhere.
Is there a place to contact to get more information about this fair that's about to happen, that's starting today?
Yes, I think at the end of the mission I will give you the phone numbers.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave you to enjoy your tea, and I'll move from you a bit to go talk to one other lady who is organizing a fair. This is organized by the government of Cameroon through one of its ministries, and we'll also talk about, you were talking a while ago about other embassies that are helping Cameroonians to train them in different parts. Well, there's somebody who's on the set, so we'll talk about Friends of Israel. Is that a country you visited before?
No, but I met already the ambassador.
Okay, yeah. And it's a beautiful country, and it's a country that is in good partnership and friendship with Cameroon. We'll be talking about that. So just stay here. I'll be back with you. Okay. All right, and if you're watching us from the comforts of your home, I'd like you to know that you're watching Cameroon Feeling. Is a program that has come to replace in part, because part of Hello Cameroon has been replaced by Cameroon Daylight with Diane Gassa, who says good morning to you every day at 6 o'clock, and then sometime at 8:10 or sometime at 8:10 you have either Eric Christiania or Pochi Tamban. So this program, as you can watch it, you should be able to notice you're able to watch it on your Android equipment, should I say on your tablets, on your computer, maybe on your phone. It's thanks to a wonderful partnership within the CRTV, all the departments coming together to make sure that we work as a team, and this is what it gives. I'm receiving on this set Madame Gu Comfort. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Very happy to have you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you for accepting to be with us on this set this morning. You're here with your Friends of Israel.
Yeah, Christian Friends of Israel.
Levy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the program as well.
Thank you.
We have tea. Please serve yourself. Can I have your cup so I can serve you some tea? Madam Gu Comfort, you have a fair that's been organized by the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training that's starting today.
Right.
Apparently, you're looking at how to get the best out of employees and their competencies. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about. Thank you very much for this opportunity. The Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training is organizing the first ever national forum on prospective management of jobs, trades, skills in enterprises and in territories. Okay. Any circumscription you want to. Cameroon is aspiring to become an industrialized nation by 2020.
Okay.
And one of the conditions, the prerequisites for this is a qualified, efficient human capital. Yeah, and that is why the government had to change its vision of the development of human capital. We have reformed the system for curricular development of training programs through what you call competence-based, skill-based approach that moves from the needs of these enterprises, the needs of the society. They are analyzed, they are put into training programs, and in the trained products that will move and go back into the society to work as human power. And you know, the private sector is an integral part of human capital development.
Exactly.
They are the ones who create jobs. They are the ones who absorb the products from the vocational training system. And of course, it accompanies the government in its implementation of policies in vocational training. So what then is prospective management? Prospective management is an anticipation of human resources, an anticipation of jobs, of skills and traits that are available. We bring together the enterprises, they express their needs, qualitative needs, quantitative needs, they expect short-term needs, mid-term needs and long-term needs. These needs now, we put them together in, as I said a while ago, into a training program to train products that they have to use. You know, this prospective management is a very important tool, an efficient tool for the management of human resources, and it is a strategic planning platform, if I can put it that way, for the development of human resources. It is a legal framework for mobility of labor, both at the national level and even at the local level.
Let me come in there to ask you about, paint us a picture of how this fair is going to look like, because I seem to understand it's going to bring together many people from different backgrounds. So who are those who are going to be there, and what are they going to be doing?
All the actors for vocational training will be there. The government, the private sector, job seekers, will be there. Everybody who is involved in vocational training will be there. Before now, we have done some consultations. There have been field trips. There have been meetings with the enterprises that have been finding in the fields and all of that. And everybody agrees with us that we have to hold this national forum that will bring together all the actors on the table for certain strategies to be put in place. The end product of this forum is going to be the signing of a partnership charter where every actor, the private and the government sector, they are going to adhere into it, and we are going to put into place mechanisms for the funding of this platform.
When you see the signing of a charter, I can imagine a few persons watching us who are like, we've seen charters before, we've seen signatures on documents before. What is the guarantee that you'll go beyond that signing?
This project, as I said a while ago, has 3 phases. It had the conception phase, the operational phase, the follow-up, and the management phase. And of course, the charter is going to be accompanied by a plan of action, where the roles and responsibilities of everybody is going to be clearly defined. The sources of funding for the platform of the charter is going to be expressly put down, and everybody, it's an engagement by all the parties, both the government and the private sector, for the effective implementation of the charter. We want to maximize private sector involvement in the human capital development. It helps even the enterprises, because you as a human resource manager in an enterprise, you must be able to tell the mid-term, the short-term, and the long-term needs. If I have this personnel, I know their profile, I know their ages. If this person is going on retirement in the next 2 years, there's somebody who is already coming up that is going to fill the gap when the other collaborator goes on retirement. So they anticipate on the jobs that are coming, the skills that will be needed, and the traits, the new traits, because changing technologies every day, you know, technology is changing, so new traits are coming up. So enterprises have to anticipate.
So as to get the best out of
yes, it is an instrument for optimal use of human resources.
It's going to be here in Yaoundé from the 11th, which is today to the 13th, and you don't want to miss out on that. Is there a phone number where people can connect to know more, or where is the rendezvous? Do you want to tell us where this is?
The rendezvous is at the Congress Center from the 11th to the 12th, and most important, please, I won't forget, there is a fair. Besides The program, there are going to be thematic sessions, an inaugural ceremony, of course, under the high patronage of the Prime Minister, head of government, and then we are going to break into sessions and all of that. But alongside, there is a fair, which is going to bring together the employers and the job seekers.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a forum for mediation.
It's an opportunity to get a job. I think I got you.
Yeah,
right.
there are going to be job offers, of course.
All right. One person who is nodding near you is Levy.
Yeah,
Levy, who is here. So we'll talk about friendship between Cameroon and Israel.
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe tell us exactly what this is?
Okay. Thank you, viewers. Christian Friends of Israel and Cameroonian Friends of Israel's Club. Here we want to inform the public that, Cameroon needs peace more than ever and tranquility more than ever. But the source of getting this peace, it is from the Bible. Because a special program is coming up on the 15th of September, this Saturday.
Okay.
And the term is praying for the peace of Jerusalem. If we want peace to be in our country, because it is what the book of Psalms 122 verse 6 says.
Remind me to share with us, who are the Friends of Israel? What is this club made of?
Yeah, this club is made up of, Christians, pastors, lay members, and even sympathizers like the media and even staff, even government. People on the street who knows about Israel, who've heard about Israel, maybe reading or anything. So we know about Israel. So they are friends of Israel.
Okay.
And then mostly the pastors and the church leaders.
Okay.
Because the Bible comes from Israel. Everything, apostle and everything, it talks about the history of Israel.
Okay.
And so the Bible, to obey to the word of God, it says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, so that peace will reign in your city, so that peace will reign in your citadel, and also tranquility in your home.
Okay. Remind us about this special prayer session that you're going to have.
The program starts at 9 in the morning at Oja, opposite the Auberge Bleu.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
and who are you expecting?
Yeah, we are expecting the public to come.
All right.
Mostly the Christians and everybody.
All right. We hope that you have a lot of persons. Madam Gukofor, thank you for coming on the program. Thank you also, Levy, for coming. We wish you both of you a beautiful day.
Thank you very
This is the start of the day. We wish you all the beautiful colors of the outside.
Thank you very much.
Even as we wait for even you, because
when I have 2 minutes, I'll pass by,
yes.
because it looks very colorful and beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Do you people, what do you do when you want to enjoy, relax? What do you do? Do you, I don't know, let me not put words.
Relax.
Do you dance?
I listen to gospel music.
You listen to gospel music?
Yes, I love God.
All right.
That's to my soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Levy, what
I
do you do
sports.
when you want to relax?
Yeah, we listen worship, praises from Israel, how Jewish people pray the God that created heaven and earth, and so also how to tap in the blessing that comes because
from above.
Yeah, from above.
Thank you so much, both of you. I asked because this is a time when we want to give you a breather. This is a set of youths who are coming from the Menchum. They call themselves The Crack. The title of the song is Galon. Just discover with me.
The Cracks, Yeats on the beat. African baby, if you do me well, I go do you well. If you do me well, I go do you well. When I hustle get along, I go open your salon. I go take you, go come, you go see life from some more. Won't go speaking, but don't mean a patron. Some more. Won't go speaking, but don't mean a patron. I love you, my baby more. I love you, my baby more. Even if I enter Fungata, I go dance so much. Because of money, them say I be uncapable. As we see we so, our love will be unbreakable. Love my baby, this one and all. Love my baby, this one and all. We go chop today and we wait for tomorrow's palava. see life come. Sumo, woko figi go tommy na patron. Sumo, woko figi go tommy na patron. Oh my boy, Taintana, when I'm going to do some messing them. Taintana, when I'm going to do some messing them.
For the love economy, now we get autonomy. I know mine, baby, you go take my salary. Now this kind and all they do me for body. Now this kind and all they send me for body. Now this kind, now baby, if you drop my money. Ale tobina, mataka mabina. Ale tobina, matika masita malikambe.
Love my baby, this one and all. Love my baby, this one and all. Sumo, walk a picking but Tommy na patron. Sumo, walk a picking but Tommy na patron. Oh my boy, Taintana, when I'm going to do some messing them. Taintana, when I'm going to do some messing them. I don't care if they say you pass my level. When we dey walk up, some say you been a devil. Can you dey go now that church where they cry for them? Can you dey go now 70s? Love my baby, this one and all. Love my baby, this one and all. Love my shady, this one and all. Oh my God, them day, we go chop now for soiree.
Kamalota, my baby Malota. Kamalota, my baby Malota. Kamalota, my baby Malota.
Love my baby, this one and all. Love my baby, this one and all. This one and all. This one and all.
Beats on the beat.
Beats man on the beat.
Solves the Cracks. It's a set of young people who are from the Com Kingdom, and the title of that song, as you did discover, is called Galong. I hope you enjoyed it. That's part of the thing on this program, you know, we try to get all the fresh colors out there and give them to you as you prepare to start your day. I've been talking with Joseph Bainamdi Ndaliwa, who is here, so we'll talk about his activities to empower young persons like himself in the northern part of the Cameroon, precisely in Gaoundéré, and also how he has come to be part of the Yali network, which is, he said, it's a network of about 3,000 persons, and they're having a fair, so you can come meet them there. Joseph, tell me a little bit more about the variety of backgrounds that you have in Yali. How would you describe the people? Where are they coming from? What kind of expertise do they have?
Before saying that, 3,000 from different programs, not only Yali program.
Okay.
Okay. In background, we have medicine doctor, we have CEO, we have engineer, we have member of civil society,
okay.
We have founders of NGOs. So all those who are working for the community, they are member of this program.
Okay.
But in within the program, there is only 3 tracks: civic leadership, public management, and business entrepreneurship.
Okay, those are the areas you definitely want to get into if you're joining them for the fair. You said you've trained about 1,000 young persons in different activities. Do you want to maybe tell us about your training program?
Oh, I trained more than 1,000, around 3,000.
Okay. Wow.
So when we came back from our fellowship, me and one of my colleagues, his name is Bertrand Becheto,
okay,
we decided to work in the northern part in Gaoundéré,
okay,
Garwa and Marwa. So we identify especially the area where they are not really good security.
Well, I've seen some pictures of what you do over there.
Exactly. So we went in Mokolo, we trained students from school of bilingual school and lycée classique of Mokolo. We went to Mora, we went to Tulum. We trained students from the University of Marwa, students from the University of Gaoundéré, and we awarded certificates at the end of the training. This training took like 6 months. So we were going, like we were having during 1 week event, and our topic was specialist on how to engage those youth within their community, how to strengthen their leadership and tell them that it's possible to succeed within their community, even though there's no hope, there's difficulties. Because when you are discussing with those guys, they don't believe that they can be better. They can be a minister in that country. We are going to tell them that no, you can do it and more. So this is what we are doing on the field. Here you can see this is the Lycée de Bilingual High School of Malang, and one member of Peace Corps, he was member also during the presentation. And here it's in Mora, you can see how it's really hard there. Students are in class, but there are no desks, and because of this issue with Boko Haram and refugees. So here it was a campaign on how to fight against the consumption of drugs, especially tramadol, in those areas. You know, students are enrolled, and youth especially, they are enrolled in terrorist group because of these drugs also. And here it is the award ceremony in University of Ngaoundéré with students of Ngaoundéré. Here it was in Mokolo with teachers and principal of the area. So we went in those fields, we discussed, we worked with youth. This one, it was a football game after our activities in Dargala. Dargala, it's one subdivision of Marwa. Yeah.
Tell me, Joseph, when you're filled, I can see your energy. When you're filled, when you have a full tank of energy the way you have, what could be your difficulties?
The first difficulties that we have is volunteerism of all the community, you know, and also funds, because all those activities that you see, they are funded by ourselves firstly, then the U.S. Embassy support us in certain projects. But now what we need also the government. They should be involved in those activities, because we are going in the field. We are not. We have many organizations in Cameroon and also in the northern part, but most of them are not involved. They are not going on the field because of the finance problem. So we have started already, but we just need also support from them. They should be involved in those activities. You know, when fellows from other countries, they are coming back for this type of fellowship, they are welcomed by their presidency. But for us, it's still
for you,
like
it's still like a problem.
Yeah, we need also those.
We wish you that. We really wish that when you're coming back, filled with this kind of energy and with that kind of ambition that we see in the pictures, you'll be receiving the highest offices of this country. Why not? We wish you that.
Thank you.
What language is yours? What language do you speak? Is it Fufudi? Is it what do you speak?
I'm from Mayo-Danai, so I speak Massa.
You speak Massa?
Like the former director of the CRTV, so I'm from
Mr. Moduvamuki.
Yeah, okay. I'm from his town.
Okay.
But in the north, especially Fufudi, for sure.
Right. Yeah. If I were going to ask you to say good morning and maybe a little bit of friendship to the people watching you from the northern regions, what language would you choose to speak in?
Oh, I speak firstly in French, because most of them
would like to. French?
Yeah, they say. I hope that my friends, especially, I hope that you will speak in French, because we don't understand English.
Oh well, I was going to ask you to speak in either Fufude or Massa, but please say a word in French to them so that they can understand.
Oh, ce que je dirais à mes jeunes frères, plus précisément du Grand Nord, c'est d'y croire en leur potentiel, parce que ne cessons pas de rêver, ne cessons pas d'arrêter de rêver à cause de ce qui se passe ou à cause de l'environnement qui nous encadre. Avec le travail dur qui est rien que la solution à nos problèmes, nous pouvons atteindre nos objectifs. Il suffit simplement d'avoir un très bon programme, rester concentré sur nos objectifs, oublier tout ce qui est autour, c'est-à-dire les paris foot, passer le temps à voir les séries télé qui ne servent vraiment à rien, rester focus sur son objectif, car tout est possible pour celui qui croit et celui qui travaille. Mais si vous restez et vous pensez qu'il faudra quelqu'un pour vous supporter, pour vous aider à s'en sortir dans la vie, ce sera compliqué, parce que toutes ces personnes qui vous promettent du bonheur sans passer par le travail, elles sont vraiment pas toujours sérieuses. Soyez sérieux et focus sur vos objectifs, vous allez réussir.
Thank you so much, Joseph. He says, in case you were wondering what he's saying, he said you should be focused, and if you believe, everything is possible. Did I translate you well?
Yes, very well.
All right. Thank you so much, Joseph, for coming on the program. Do you want to maybe remind us before we go the date and the place for your fair?
Yes, the date is, the fair starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it will last 3 days in Chamber of Commerce of Yaoundé. And you can contact also these phone numbers: 677-985413, 677-985413, or email to usjalumni2080@gmail.com. So
they're also on Facebook, so you want to check on the internet, you definitely come across one of them. Thank you so much. I had a sweet time talking to you. Now I'm going to move, so we talk to somebody who is here, so we discover the Siantu Institute, which is here in Yaoundé. Thank you so much for coming, Joseph.
Thank you.
I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Just stay and enjoy your tea. I'll be joining my other guests right here. I have with us here Mr. Tiku Etauben. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us here on the program.
You're welcome.
You're coming from the Siantu University Institute. Tell me about Siantu University Institute. I do know it's a higher institute of training.
Sure.
So what precisely is it for you?
Okay, I would like to start off by saying good morning to Honorable Wantu Siantu Lucien, the founder and president, director general of the Siantu Group.
Okay.
The Siantu University Institute is actually made up of 3 schools. You have the Siantu Higher School of Industry and Technology, the Siantu Higher School of Management and Communication, and the Siantu Higher School of Health Sciences.
Okay. What are you train? What are the professions that you train in?
We train students, BTS, HND, masters, licence professionnelle. The School of Health, for example, where I'm in charge of studies, we have 2 cycles: the BTS cycle and the bachelor cycle. The BTS cycle, where we have authorization from the Ministry of Higher Education. We train students in sciences infirmières, sage-femme, technique de laboratoire et d'analyse médicale.
Do you want to translate that so that the English-speaking people can understand the professions involved? You talked about midwife.
Midwifery. That's nursing. And medical laboratory sciences. And then we have odontostomatology. And then we have we train opticians. We train radiologists. This is a 3-year program where students at the end of their program sit for the national examination, the BTS examination. The other cycle is the bachelor cycle, which is affiliated to the University of Bamenda. It's a 4-year program, and there we train students in, it's a double honors program, midwifery and nursing. At the end of the program, the students are awarded a bachelor degree in nursing and midwifery. And at the medical laboratory science, a bachelor degree in medical laboratory science. The most interesting thing about the School of Health in Siantu is this. At the end of the 3 years training of the BTS, the students can come back and enroll again in the Siantu University and do a 1 year still affiliated to the University of Bamenda and earn a bachelor's degree. And it doesn't end there. They can equally come back and still register in the Siantu University Institute and do 2 years and earn a master's degree in their various fields of studies. Now, what I would like to say, what is so particular about this particular School of Health is this. Our lecturers, I should say, are the best, one of the best in this country.
Where do you pick them from? Give us an idea
of where them from. State universities, we pick them from the biggest hospitals we have in this country and abroad. We have professors coming from the University of Bamenda, we have professors coming from the University of Buea, we have professors who come from the various state hospitals. Those are the people who train our students. The other thing is we have one of the best laboratories and well-equipped laboratories you can imagine in this country. That's what some people have not yet discovered. And I would like to say this, that for the 2017-2018 academic year, the Siantu University had 1,600 laureates who took part in the BTS, HND, and the DCEP national program. And of these 1,600 students, we had 19 were national majors. We had 21 of them were first vice national majors, 20 were second vice national majors. We had 4 distinctions, 23 upper credits, and 249 lower credits. Of these, 7 departments had 100%. There you have the name École des Majors. And I would equally like to say this, that we train students at the HND level, in accounting, banking and finance, management, marketing, and in engineering. And at the bachelor's level, we train them to accounting, banking and finance, and we equally train at the master's level. For the bachelor and the master's, we are affiliated to the University of Buea. That's the university that actually issues the diplomas of the students when they
So
graduate.
when you train there, when you have to receive your diploma, you get them from the University of Buea?
It is issued by the University of Buea for the bachelor's and master's, and by the University of Bamenda for the Siantu School of Health bachelor. And then I would like to equally say that we officially start the new academic year tomorrow.
Are you still receiving students for this academic year?
We are still receiving students, but the academic year starts tomorrow with a general reception of the new and old students and orientation.
I was going to ask you if you have orientation so you can guide the students.
Tomorrow is the orientation day. We receive our new students and the old students. We carry out orientation. They visit the campus, they visit the laboratories, they visit the radio house. We have one of the best radio houses in this country. They visit the radio house, and on Thursday, we begin effective classes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tiku Etauben, for coming to talk to us about the Siantu University Institute.
You're welcome.
I did enjoy you. You talk with a lot of passion about the Siantu University Institute, and he keeps saying it's one of the best. It's among the best in everything, and it's L'École des Majors. If you want to find out, tomorrow is an open day on that campus, so you could go find out. Now, let me give you another moment of another commercial moment. You know, part of television is commercials too. Stay with us. I'll meet you after that.
Thank you, madam. That was kind of you. Bye.
Hey, where is the money?
Don't worry, it's okay.
And what about the salaries?
It's okay.
Ah, that's great.
But man, wow, please.
Hey, has it been done?
It's okay.
You can trust me. It's okay.
Take your water. Welcome back on Cameroon Feeling, and right now on the program we're going to be talking some health, and Patience Mbele has joined me. Patience, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Pochi.
Good to have you around. Oh yes,
yes,
don't worry. We are a wealthy country in terms of natural resources, so
That's true.
on a program like this we can high up a bit, right? Now, why are you here with the first aid box?
Yes, I was going to get to that later. I should have hidden it, but it's health. It's wellness, and we're talking about back to school. It's just the second week.
Yes, it is.
And I want to take you down memory lane. When you were in school, Pochi, what were you usually sick of? You know, the illness.
Running stomach, rash, skin issues. And airborne related diseases, you know, like cough, catarrh and stuff.
That's true. So I went downtown in some schools, and we had, first of all, running stomach last week. We talked about nutrition, what you take to school, what you give your children to take to school. But this time we're going to talk about generally what children suffer from when they go to school, because the teachers in school insist that it's a partnership between parents and teachers when you want to have healthy children in school. But sometimes parents think when they send their kids to school, off to you, teachers, handle whatever, even if I don't take care of them at home. And teachers are not really happy about that. And sometimes parents also complain that when they send their healthy children to school, things happen in school that bring back unhealthy, ill, and sick children. So here are some of the health problems that they talked about that children suffer in school. Toothache.
Yes.
Yes, toothache. Have you ever suffered from toothache? I have.
Would it be from eating all the sweet things that you
things, biscuits from canteens,
ice cream, bonbon of all kinds, like, you know.
Yes, and the teachers advise, the school nurses advise that it's important to ensure that your children brush after eating sweet things. Now, it may not happen in school, but this is for parents at home. Ensure that after having that sweet drink, they brush their teeth. This will prevent cavities from forming.
My children think that breakfast, lunch, and dinner should be made up of only bonbon. So
don't we all when we're kids? Yes. And then we have vision issues as well, Pochi. Many children complain of not seeing clearly, asking their teachers to come maybe ahead because they can't see the board. Usually the teacher says because parents love having their children use these devices really close up front, playing games forever, even during school periods.
Yes. Some of us are guilty.
So they advise parents not to. And during the school season, they shouldn't be playing games at all. And then the children also complained of headaches. And teachers say it's usually linked to the sleep schedule.
Okay.
Parents do not respect strict sleep schedules because children are supposed to have about 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And some of them spend the whole night watching series like Joseph was talking about, and not sleeping until maybe after midnight. And then when they get to school, they feel the headache and all of that. And then finally, they talked about wounds as well.
Yes. Playing, too much playing.
Too much playing, and bad hygiene too. Eczema and all of that, you scratch and before you know it, you have a wound. So they talked about having parents teach their children to be really, really neat and clean. And that's why I brought this.
Okay.
You should have this at home. I don't know if you do.
Do you want to take them out so we see?
Yes.
This should be alcohol.
Alcohol,
I said so.
Yes.
Where would you get a box like this? In a pharmacy?
In a pharmacy, really. Don't go by the roadside because you may not have it completely like this. You have plasters and everything in case your kid has anything at home, maybe wounds at home. You know what to do, first aid. Now, I'm taking this because it's not just for parents at home, but it's also in schools. Every school should at least have a health center. If you don't have a health center, it's too big and expensive. Have a first aid box so if children have any emergencies, that can be taken care of.
Do you know that they sell some of these boxes by the roadside?
They do. They do. And that's why we advise you to go to pharmacies, because then you're sure you have everything complete. Because sometimes they take off some stuff and give you cheaper, but then you don't have everything. So, Pochi, I did this little report, went down to school and talked to a school nurse and a principal just to assure parents to know what happens to your children when they're at school and they're unhealthy or not feeling too good. You can check this report out.
A healthy school environment is one where the school setting supports students' health and well-being, from a neat dress code, clean toilets and classrooms to first aid health centers, all in order to build a strong foundation for learning.
Taking my school as an example, here we have a school cleaner, somebody who cleans the school environment, especially the latrines. This lady cleans the toilets every evening so that they should be safe for use in the morning periods, and immediately after break she goes again to clean. So she cleans the toilets twice a day. And what the school has done is that these toilets have been separated for boys and girls. Where girls go, boys do not venture there. There is a cleaner who has all the detergents necessary that protects her also not to get infected during cleaning. And in cases of skin diseases, we try to get to the parents. As you see, we have the school infirmary who handles the immediate cases before we get to parents concerning cases that are almost getting out of hand. So we call on parents' attention, things like eczema and all the rest. We actually tell them so that they can handle that at home.
One of the major requirements of every school setting is a health service. This service provides emergency care for illness or injury while at school.
You will have some student that comes with natural illnesses from home that we just have to manage them, like you have asthma. If we know that the child is already an asthmatic patient, he or she knows. I always advise them to move with that spray, and I make sure that I have them in my office. In case they forgot and they're having the crisis, I just manage it on the hygienic condition in the school milieu. But I always advise them to come with their water bottles at times not to be moving up and down from class during learning hours. I also advise those who have gastric, to always eat their food. They should avoid fried food like dry bread, chips, etc. I also advise that some students that they come with epilepsy, they are a non-case. If they have the crisis in school, I manage it and I let the patient. We always alert the parent in case of anything. Even the child is having high fever or is having what in school, the student may come with the high fever. If I manage, maybe give the tepid on him, give the paracetamol, but the child goes home and is all right. If you don't let the parents to know that this is what happened on the child, tomorrow the child will come back to school and still have the very crisis. If you have a critical case, I inform the parents and there's a vehicle at my disposal to take the child to the hospital. The first aid treatment we give here on wounds, most of them are always bruises. I clean the wound with betadine. If it is just to paint, I paint it and leave it like that. If it's a deep wound, I make sure that I cover it. I clean it well with betadine and cover it. Then I inform the parents.
School-based health centers supplement the care that children receive from home. Parents are advised to visit schools with an eye for the health standards for their children's safety. A healthy school environment improves both health and education outcomes, developing your child's competencies in critical thinking, personal management, collaboration, and leadership.
Okay, so there you go. You heard it. It's very important to know what your children are faced with when they go to school, and the fact that there's a school nurse to take care of them, that really comforts most parents. But I'll turn to ask you, Pochi. Now, the principal said he has a cleaner that comes to school to clean the toilets for the children. I remember my days in some boarding school. I will not call the name. We used to scrub toilets so hard that I used to have wounds all over my legs. So what would you prefer for your children? Cleaners or do it yourself?
I went to a boarding school too that would ask us from Form 1 to clean the toilet. So I know what you're talking about. It's one of the traumatizing experiences.
Yes.
But we learn from trauma, not from good things. Now, that said, it would depend on the age of the child. Okay. I wouldn't want my primary school children to be cleaning toilets because I don't think they know how to clean themselves first.
Yes.
But of course, in secondary school, I'm that mom who wants you to do it too, you know. So yes, I want my children to, because I think it teaches you something about life.
Yes.
You should be able to clean up your mess. Okay?
That's true.
If you know how to clean a toilet, you will use it better.
That's
so that's where I stand. But thank God my daughters are too young. They'll be like, Mom! Oh yes, now who is entering into the studio right now? The guy who brings the job and the job opportunities. Kembe Ngochi, good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
We're going to allow you to settle down.
Of course. Maybe I need some water, some tea this morning.
Warm, right?
Yeah, something warm. My voice is hoarse this morning.
When she's serving you, I was going to ask you, Patience, why don't you allow him doing by himself?
Okay.
So that you go through that box, first aid box for us, and actually take out some of the things there so we know what's inside a first aid box.
Okay, so
I can imagine you have cotton, you have alcohol, as we said.
Cotton. No, this is
That's
cotton.
gauze.
Yes. This is cotton, I think. Yes. And then you have
gauze.
All right. What do you use this for?
It's like cotton, but it doesn't come out. Like you know, it's you can use it on wounds. You can use it to wrap. Maybe you have a sprain or something. I'm guessing. Don't kill me. I didn't do medicine.
Yes, and then you have the adhesive bandages, what we call plaster. Yes, and then you have alcohol. Children hate this part. When you take this out, they're not happy with
they
you.
Start screaming.
Yes.
Because they prefer, I think, betadine, which is very
I used to prefer that as well. And there's a lot more you can discover if you go to a pharmacy you say you want a
first aid box.
A first aid box. You're going to have all of this, and usually they explain it to you. That's why you need to go to where you have professionals so they can help you.
Maybe that's why we shouldn't go through the box, so we don't tell them what everything is inside.
Yes.
You then must go to the pharmacy and allow the pharmacist to run you through what's in that box and why you need to have it. Even if it's not for school, it's advisable to have it in your car. I think gendarme officers who check on the road will ask you for a first aid box at times. Don't know if they should, but they do. So have one. Thank you so much for being on the set.
Thank you.
Just stay so that you can keep company.
Fine.
This is some tea.
Kembe Ngochi.
Some
what
more?
Kind of tea would you like?
That
You
one.
like
Okay.
He asked for water, but he didn't mean plain water. He wanted colored water.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Kembe, tell me about jobs. What did you find?
We have a couple of them this morning, Pochi. But before we get to the jobs, we take our job profile for the day.
Exactly.
Today we look at a documentalist. Do you know what the job of a documentalist entails?
No, but I'm seeing a lot of cupboards and filing and classification of documents.
You're definitely on track there, Pochi. So I take you to meet a young documentalist. Her name is Visho Lidwina. She's a documentalist. She deals with a lot of cupboards, record keeping and a lot more. So we take you, our viewers out there, to meet Visho Lidwina, a documentalist.
That's my
To be a documentalist, you need to go through a 3 to 4 years training program in a professional school, because this field is a technical field, where you'll be taught different techniques of documentation, which is collection, treatment, and conservation of information. As documentalists, we are called to be managers of information. We are called to be secretive, because he who possesses information possesses power. So it entails a lot. You have to be on the search of information constantly. You have to be on the front line of information. So it takes a lot to be a documentalist, yet it's a very interesting field. Documentation is the mother of communication. So I'll call on all those who are interested to dream big, study hard, and above everything, trust in God. You will love this field, and you have to exercise a lot of patience when you're a documentalist, because you constantly have to attend to people who are in need of information, who are carrying out researches, who are trying to do a report or thesis, work on their thesis. So it's a very interesting field.
Thank you so much, Visho Lidwina, for telling us there about what a documentalist is all about. And in case you're thinking of that profession, it's a profession that is in short supply of staff. So you'll quickly find a way if you do that. And it's a profession that goes into every sector of activity. And maybe I'm speaking for you, though. Tell me more about it.
So Visho said it all there. It's a very technical profession. It calls for a lot of you need to be a sacred keeper. You play with a lot of records. You play with a lot of archives. So you want to make sure that you're very, very meticulous.
There's something
in what
on the internet, on social media these days, they call it document without borders. If you're one of such people who likes to take pictures and WhatsApp, you're not fit for that profession, is
Definitely, Pochi. So
right.
I take you now to the jobs. I have about 5 job opportunities this morning. The first one comes to us from the United Nations Sexual Reproductive Health Agency, UNFPA. They need a program monitor, location Boya, and qualifications here. They say master's degree in project monitoring and evaluation, human rights, gender, public health, or relevant field in social sciences, being familiar with the geographical, social, and cultural environment of the northwest of Cameroon, and fluency in English and Pidgin is an asset. Have proven communication skills, amongst others, and how to apply. You send a complete application form containing a cover letter, CV, photocopies of diplomas and certificates, and the United Nations P11 form to cameroon.office@unfpa.org. cameroon.office@unfpa.org. Deadline September 13, 2018. I take the second one now, coming to us from a United Nations Development Program, still from a United Nations agency, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, in need of a humanitarian affairs officer, location Boya. And they say here qualifications: bachelor's degree in political science, sociology, law, international relations, or other related fields, 3 years of relevant professional experience, good computer skills, and generic tools, or rather with generic tools. And how to apply, you go to unjobs.com, unjobs.com, and the deadline for this one is today, September 11. So you may have to make haste if you are eyeing that job. So I take the third one now. Program Monitor, that's your job title. Program Monitor, advertiser, United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency, UNFPA, location Bamenda. This time it's in Bamenda. The qualifications: master's degree in project monitoring and evaluation, human rights, gender, public health, or relevant field in social sciences, being familiar with the geographical, social, and cultural environment of the northwest of Cameroon, and fluency in English and Pidgin is an asset. Have proven communication skills amongst others. And how to apply for this one: you send a complete application form containing a CV, rather a cover letter, a CV, photocopies of diplomas and certificates, and the United Nations P11 form to cameroon.office@unfpa.org. cameroon.office@unfpa.org. The fourth one I have here is from Watch Water Cameroon. Watch Water Cameroon. They need a water quality technician trainee. Water quality technician trainee qualifications: a bachelor's degree with course work including chemistry, bacteriology, water technology, geology, or related subjects, knowledge of collecting water samples, analyzing data, and interpreting results, ability to undertake frequent field trips and assist in trade fairs and expositions. And how to apply for this one: you email your cover letter and CV to watchwater.ca@gmail.com. watchwater.ca@gmail.com, or visit aquajobs.com. Deadline October 31, 2018. The last one is coming to us from an anonymous personality who's in need of a babysitter in Douala. Babysitter in Douala. They say the qualifications here: at least first school living certificate, proven past experience on the job. At least first school living certificate and proven past experience on the job. And how to apply: you call the following number: 697-340-585. 697-340-585. I'm done for the day.
Thank you so much, Kembengochi. I'm going to move from you to somebody who will be a year older on the 14th of this month. And he's a comedian who is from the Menchum. He's based in Buea. Calvino Walang is telling us about... do you know who the Slay Queens are? Do you know who a Slay Queen is?
Well, I know. I see.
This is the time you laugh until somebody laughs.
I see a lot of them around.
You know what they say, right? Okay, well, let's go see Calvino Walang's definition of the Slay Queens of Moliko. I'll meet you behind that. To have our drama piece from Calvino Walang. I did tell you he'll be a year older on the 14th of September. So if you're watching us, this could be your chance to surprise him. So start preparing, to surprise him. But now let's have our drama page on Cameroon Feeling. It's the Slay Queens of Moliko with Calvino Walang.
I see you, girl, you bad up. And we they deceive you. Gina, young woman, Imani Maka. Ibeziri tebe monu tebe siana chaka. Biko idika madu yizi enwe kadaka. One, now who you did see you? As you there for Twitter, your name for Insta, sexy good delicious twister. Why you do the lie? When nothing there to the shake you, where the waste you? As you there for Twitter, your name for Insta, sexy good delicious twister. Why you do the shy? When you know, say you find you, don't be like you. Nobody ugly you.
Say a team, tell me I no get fun. Don't petty say carry kiri galaxy. I you said I take one, I push in you down. I don't say a team. Bobo you movement not there.
That's Calvino. He's disappeared with the phone of the Slay Queen. Well, that's our drama page today. Cameroon is a country of talents, and we like to know that one of us is able to outshine others in the trade that he or she has chosen. Calvino, you're doing very good. One of these days, we'd love to have you on this set, so we'll talk about how you are moving on. I want to also let you know he's a TV host too. He hosts a program like this one. Look out for him and enjoy him. This time, we want to receive somebody who is an expert in everything economics. If you're thinking of investing, if you're investing or you're wondering how it's moving, maybe you want to talk to Kennedy Tumenta. He's right here. Good morning, sir. Please come over and join me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming this early to join us.
Thank you.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
All right. I was just saying that you are you're a master of everything economics, but maybe you want to tell us precisely who are you?
My name is Tumenta Kennedy. The founder and CEO of African Business Information Bank. My backgrounds are ethics, economics, investment, diaspora-related issues, development, and entrepreneurship, so to say.
Okay. Tell me, you are based here in Cameroon?
Partly in Cameroon, partly in Germany, since we have our activities in Cameroon and partly in Germany, in Berlin.
All right. What would be your first comment about the investment environment in Cameroon? Is it good, not so good?
Well, I don't want to give some scales because the World Bank Doing Business report already gives us a scale of where we found ourselves. But I could say that looking at the challenges that we have in Cameroon, we are struggling to get out of, to create a conducive environment. But I think that with the multiple talents that we have in Cameroon, we can do better.
Okay. When you say multiple talents, what are some of those talented, what are some of those talents that you see, somebody like you who should I say is an expert in investment?
The most important thing is that creating an enabling investment climate is like creating friendship, building a relationship with somebody that is very, very attractive. So, but I think that with our institutions, which we have, like the Investment Promotion Agency, you have the Ministry of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises with other institutions that facilitate the opening and running of companies. On that part, the government is doing a lot. But if you look at the creativity, the endogenous origin of what makes an investment climate to be good, we are not really creating that, that positive atmosphere that will force young people not to look for career jobs but to go for entrepreneurial activities. And secondly, we do not have the market and to buy our products. So we think African dress and eat European. So those aspects doesn't force, let's say, entrepreneurs to actually create their products, because the ultimate goals of an entrepreneur is to make profit while solving the problem of others.
Let me ask you to highlight for us some of the things that could be done on the part of the government, but also on the part of individuals who want to be active in the market. Because I understand that business is not only about government creating the environment that is good for it, but it's about individuals going a step further. So maybe you want to address those two sectors and tell me what is lacking in Cameroon.
I think if we look at the investment climate from the government perspective,
we need to create the market. We have a lot of monopolistic structures. What do I mean by monopolistic structures? You have hidden barriers at all levels. And one of the most destructive hidden barriers is that people's bills are not paid in time. Okay. And that's very destructive. Why understanding that banks do not give credits and give finance credits for people to carry their activities, but once you succeed in raising funds and you provide some services and your money is not paid in time,
it cripples you.
It cripples you. And this part is not being discussed in any of the legal platform. And sometimes the facilitation, the legal processes are so long that by the time you succeed, you have lose all the other customers. And I think that the government needs to promote made in Africa, made in Cameroon. I'm a Pan-Africanist, so I need to talk about the bigger market, because if you want to promote buy made in Cameroon, you might limit to the 24 to 25 million Cameroonians. But if you promote made in Africa, then you move up to approximately a market of 300 million, taking into consideration Nigeria and the Central African market. So we need to figure out how we, in most of our policies, most of our public tender, that we give a certain percentage to Cameroonians, talents, and then also provide more incentive to make sure that most people can migrate from the public sector and go to the, let's say, the private sector. But the most important thing now, as you said, is that we have approximately 75% of unemployed graduates. Okay. I mean, this is need to be verified, but we have approximately 75% of unemployed graduates, and we have approximately 78% of most of our activities found in the informal sector. So now for us, you see, we need to make sure that we can make a lot of people move out of the informal sector, get more people to get experiences in the informal sector, and then we build now a strong private sector economy. And thirdly, the government needs to make sure that the private sector takes their responsibility. We have a lot of disguised monopolistic private sector that are basically public sector in the private sector, and they block the migration of the best talents from the private sector into the public sector.
But these challenges considered, what would you tell an individual who wants to invest in Cameroon?
One thing I will let them understand, that Cameroon is the best investment destination for these individuals to go in. And despite the negative investment climate perceptions, but Cameroonians are very loyal when you produce the type of things that they want. And if you are capable of producing the Chinese price and providing, let's say, the Swiss quality, then that's the best place. So you need to give a Cameroonian the best quality and actually give him the affordable price. So if you can do that, then Cameroon is the best destination.
You know, you're talking to an investment expert, to somebody who knows how to encourage people to create wealth. When you hear this kind of language, Mr. Tometa Kennedy, don't move. We will continue with you in a short while. But I want to take you to the Bam and Kim. It's here in the center region, to Yoko, which is a place that welcomes, much like other localities in Cameroon. It's the story of our country that welcomes people from diverse backgrounds. This is a report that tells us more about Yoko. Well, you might know Yoko because of a famous prison, but you might not know that Yoko is also a place that has a lot of natural wealth and that has people from very diverse backgrounds. I'm hoping that in a short moment we'll have this report that tells us more about the locality of Yoko in the Bam and Kim here in the center region.
Yoko is one of the subdivisions in Bam and Kim in the center region. Over the years, the locality has become cosmopolitan, attracting people from other regions of the country. A good example is Emmanuel Faleshe, who is a native of Banso in the northwest region.
We are living in peace here. I'm making my business here peacefully without no problems. So I want my brothers and sisters everywhere that they should always imitate us, live also in peace without any problems, and Cameroon will be one. That's what we are praying for.
Thanks to mixed marriages, national unity and integration is also being promoted. Mr. Tala Boma Joseph, who hails from the Balikumbat subdivision of the Northwest region, has spent 20 years in Yoko and is married to a woman of the Babute clan.
I've been here for mostly 20 years. So I've been married to my wife, Madame Boma. She's a Babute. We have 4 children. My children, they are speaking both Babute and my language. That's Bali, the Mubako. Yes, so they do express themselves in English and French.
His wife says she has a cordial relationship with her in-laws.
Nous vivons ici, nous n'avons aucun problème.
We don't have any problem here. Anglophones, Voute, we all understand each other. Each person is free to do whatever he likes. When we go to the Northwest region, I'm at ease. I also speak my husband's language. I have a good understanding with my in-laws and people in the village. When I go to the village, I sensitize them on what they don't know and they listen to what I tell them.
Et ils suivent vraiment ce que je leur dis.
Just like Mr. and Mrs. Boma, Odette from Kumbo in the Northwest region is happily married to a man from Yoko.
We live in peace and harmony, but their own culture is very different from our own in the Northwest, but I always try to live with them. He enjoyed the food from the Northwest very much, and I also try to eat their own food.
Her husband is at ease with the Anglophone culture.
Je suis Voute de Yoko.
I am of the Voute tribe from Yoko. I am married to a woman from So in Kumbo in the Northwest region. I knew her in Kumbo. We lived there. Later on, Ngambetika, Ambam, Yaoundé, and presently we are in my village in Yoko. We have 2 children and we've been together for 8 years with no problem. The Anglophone culture does not disturb me.
This woman, fondly called Mama Antoinette, is a product of a mixed marriage.
I am of the Babute tribe. My father is Babute and my mother is from Nanga Eboku. Life is good here in Yoko. There are no problems. I was not born here, but I've been here for 30 years. There is no land dispute. We all live in peace.
On his part, Omaro is Hausa from Ngila, a neighboring village in the area. He says he feels at ease in Yoko.
Life is going on here hitch-free. We don't have problems like elsewhere. Many people from different regions and different cultural backgrounds live together in peace. I am a meat vendor. They buy meat, and my business is moving on smoothly.
Nicole is a vendor at the Yoko market. She says the town is host to people of different ethnic groups.
I don't live here for 5 years.
I've been here for 5 years. I am okay. I live well. There is no problem and we eat well. Every day we eat meat. A kilogram of cow meat is 1,400 francs. With 500 francs, you can eat bush meat with kumkum. We have everything here. We don't have thieves here.
From every indication, national unity and integration is a reality in the Yoko subdivision.
Thank you very much, Bude, for that report that gives us an insight into one of the localities in Cameroon. It's one of those localities you hear about, but you tend to hear mostly negative things about ourselves until somebody takes the interest to go there and discover that there is a lot more that we can know about places. And we're discovering the Yoko in the Mbam and Kim division here in Yaoundé. Now let's wrap up with this expert in economics and investment, Kennedy Tumenta, who joined us. He's been on this program program before for other things. He'll be coming for other things, so don't be worried if you're seeing him wearing a different hats today. That's just how we are sometimes, multi-talented with different hats. Is that so?
Yeah.
All right. So now tell me about, you mentioned a while ago about Made in Cameroon and the fact that we need to promote that more. But when you look at the people who invest in Made in Cameroon, these are low-skill, small-skill kind of persons. What do you tell them to encourage them to climb the ladder of investment?
I think that the first thing they need to do is to expose, to travel with their products around Cameroon, because you need to create the market. And for you to create the market, you need to make sure that people know it exists. So most of the creative talents and the entrepreneurs at the low level with Made in Cameroon, they try to belittle it. They should think big. They should get people like you to put on their dresses. They should get you just to be their patron. This is what I have. And those things are they don't need a lot of money for advertisement. Just get somebody, a mentor who says, I like it. And then your network, and this takes me to an African way, which is the Ubuntunomics.
Exactly.
I am because you are because I am. There is no you without me, and there is no me without you. And most especially, if I assist you to grow, I grow. So when these entrepreneurs, why using the African creative mindset, combine it with an African economics philosophy, then they will succeed by going to where people are in networks and showcase and trying to portray their products. We are there to support them, especially those of us in the diasporas.
Yes.
We want to know what they are doing. We want to look at the quality. We want to expose it in our network. That is the best way we can promote Made in Cameroon on our own level.
If you're into the business of Made in Cameroon, you should try personalities out there who can showcase what you do. It's always a win-win venture. They will get something, you will get something, everybody goes home happy. Thank you so much, Kennedy Tumeta, for coming on this program. We'll be looking forward to having you and other people like you to help us, guide us, give us ideas about how we can move up in the way we do business, in the way we invest, and all of that. I wish you a beautiful day. I'm going to leave you here to enjoy your tea and all, and our meat. We're talking about Made in Cameroon. Belle Suzanne is here, so we talk about some of the colorful things that are made in this country. And Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Poshi.
How are you?
I'm good.
This looks like a bag I can carry. Wow.
Oh yes, very, very beautiful. And Poshi, just permit me to tell you that I'm just so happy with your guest this morning, because he's just been talking about Made in Cameroon. I've been smiling.
And you were like, yeah. Did he know that I'm here?
Yeah, and that's what I'm coming to talk about.
Yes.
Well, definitely he didn't know, but of course it's the time we have to talk about Made in Cameroon.
Yes.
And
I'm
you
impressed.
See in front of me, you see very beautiful things. You see this pair of shoes designed.
Very solid. It looks really nice.
And designed with African fabric. Yes, this is definitely the Ankara. Very beautiful, and you can see these bags. These are beauty accessories made in Cameroon. Yes, they are made in Cameroon. Is a co-brand. They usually say it's a co-brand because there is an initial brand where a designer comes in and then puts all of this together.
Okay.
So very beautiful. And Poshi, just to let you said you can have this, right?
It looks like a school bag. It looks like a full tool. That's what you call it.
Exactly.
The bag you can take for a weekend to put everything inside.
Put everything inside. You can put your laptop inside.
You could put your laptop inside.
And this is another handbag.
Okay.
This one you can take
That's
it to
really
work.
Fashionable.
Yes, very fashionable. You can take it to work. And there are many others like that. Of course, it is made in Cameroon, and we'll gladly show this report which we have made.
Yes.
Just to let you know that these are a group of women who came together, and they are kind of sharing ideas, sharing experiences, and then training others on how to go about this, so that tomorrow they can be able to create a market for themselves, produce most of these things, create a market for themselves,
and earn a living.
And I'm very sure that those who will be watching this report will definitely be inspired. Let's have this report, and when we come back, we talk more.
Recognized on the global fashion scene, African fabric has today proven to be versatile. It's used to produce a growing number of fashion items such as bags, shoes, dresses, jewelry, and countless accessories.
It's obvious that this trend has changed the manner in which African print is perceived worldwide.
La customisation, c'est habiller des accessoires avec du tissu. Ça peut être un pagne, ça peut être un tissu.
Customization is the ability to design something with a fabric of any kind.
Ça peut être un sac, un habit, ça peut être une chaussure.
It could be a bag, a dress, shoes or jewelry.
On donne aussi vie à des vieux accessoires. Beaucoup de personnes pensent que customiser, c'est prendre ce qui est.
Many people think that customization deals with old objects, but no. You can buy a new pair of shoes and customize with a fabric to match an outfit. Also, you can give a new life to a worn-out accessory, but let it not be too old.
These women, drawn from various walks of life, have gathered to share their know-how and learn new techniques on how to associate fashion items with African fabric.
It's a part-time something. It's a passion. I like African style, African designs, so I just for pleasure.
Moi, je suis déjà styliste et j'ai une boutique où je fais des articles en pagne.
I own a shop where I design dresses with African fabric. The reason why I came here is to be able to satisfy my customers who keep on asking for customized articles to match their African outfits.
Venir y participer pour donner ajouter un plus à mes propositions clients. Je suis restée en Afrique de l'Ouest pendant 10 ans.
I've lived in West Africa for 10 years, and during that period I fell in love with the African wear.
Comme ça que j'ai eu ce goût, le goût de cette matière-là. En plus, bon, c'est.
It makes you look more beautiful. Reason why I wear it on a daily basis.
Et ça habille bien la peau noire.
Some women may have been driven by curiosity or pleasure, but others intend making a living out of it.
J'ai une grand-mère styliste, modéliste, ma mère aussi qui est.
My grandmother and my mom are both fashion designers.
Et du coup, je me suis dit ajouter à ce qu'elles font, pourquoi ne pas participer, pourquoi ne pas impliquer les accessoires.
And I thought of contributing to what they do by associating accessories made with African print to please women out there.
Donc, si en plus de ça, si on peut ajouter des bijoux, pourquoi pas les bracelets, tous les jours, les sacs, les accessoires de tous les jours. Je voyage beaucoup et tous les jours on voit en Occident les sacs, les tissus.
In addition to this, I travel a lot and I wish to settle my own business where I'll be able to conceive and design handbags and jewelries with the African print and sell in other countries.
Aller vendre comme les gens font, aller à l'étranger, vendre et faire des achats de l'étranger, revenir aussi vendre au Cameroun. Parce que quand on arrive à
I've noticed that many Europeans look at our African wares with a lot of admiration.
It took just 4 hours for these women to increase the appeal of their handbags and shoes with the help of African fabric. With the customization frenzy, no doubt Cameroonians will more and more consume made in Cameroon.
Thank you so much for that very beautiful report, Susan. Cameroonians are definitely talented, and we're happy to have them here.
Yes, and of course, just to let you know that this tendency, which is growing, will one day dominate, because your guest earlier said that we should consume Cameroonian.
Exactly.
Or we should consume, because he said that he said something very, very important, which I noted that down, that Africans dress they dress Africa, rather they dress European as well as eat European. But I think now is the time for us to eat Cameroonian and dress Cameroonian.
As we struggle to think Cameroonian, because you need to also decolonize the mind. Thank you so much for coming, Belle Suzanne.
I should take my things along?
Yes, I wish you could keep them here and let me just own them.
Let me hold my handbag and then move out.
You're going to be switching seats with Priscilla Loom, who is here, so we'll talk about CRT on the web. But Wanshe has joined us. Wanshe, who has put out 2 EPs. Is that so?
Very true.
Good morning. Thank you for coming on this program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. The last time I saw you were on Hello Cameroon.
Yes, most definitely.
Today is Cameroon Feeling. Now, tell me a little bit more about what are these EPs about?
Okay, these EPs, they are called I call the project the Twin EP project.
Okay.
Yes, one is called Serene, the other is Chop Chair. So these are basically the pre-releases I'll be doing before I get to drop an album, which is next year, March next year.
All right.
So I decided to drop an EP of 7 tracks each to actually display what the lady was explaining a few minutes back, the diversity of Cameroon.
Exactly.
Yes, that's why one of the EPs is called Chop Chair. If you actually look at it, you can see I'm in very African.
You look like a correct Chop Chair there.
Right? Yeah, right. Yeah, so...
and the other one is called Serene.
The other one is called Serene, which basically describes my state of mind right now as an artist.
You're very serene.
Yes, the transition.
Okay.
Yes, I believe
when she is sitting here until we wrap up the show at 10 o'clock, so don't move. We were having an idea of what the video looks like. But let's look at CRTV on the web. Priscilla Lum, good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. Tell me about CRTV on the web and what's going viral.
Not only CRTV. We start first with what's making news, what's going viral on
Serena Williams, U.S. Tennis Open.
Yeah. She was fined $17,000 for misconduct during the U.S. Open finals on Saturday. And you know what happened? Well, they said the referee tried cheating her and she could not keep her tongue in her mouth.
And she insulted the referee.
She whacked her tongue. And they called it an umpire. So she actually wanted to contest. The first fine is that she has to pay $4,000 for being coached while she was playing. She was listening to coaching advice while she was playing. Secondly, she insulted the umpire. Yes, and she received $10,000 fine. And then thirdly, she had to hit the racket and she broke her racket. And $3,000, making $17,000. She's in the news again, and so it has been making news on CNN, on BBC, and many other foreign, online news
portals.
Yeah, and we want to find out: sports, is it just sports? It should be discipline. It should be fair play.
Well, if it's discipline, it should be fair play. If you look deep into that story, you'll see that other fair-skinned, I don't want to say white, so it looks like it's a racial issue, but she is making a point that it's racism because you've seen other white persons do that, and they are not getting that fine.
Punished. So, and CNN this morning is saying that it's sexism. But there were 2 women who were taking a different dimension.
All right.
And so she lost the game because Japanese... Naomi had to carry the day and won the trophy. It surprised so many people because Serena is a superstar in terms of tennis.
Yeah.
So it's going viral.
But she's lost others, so I think she should. That's part of the game, right? They say the ball is round. Another thing that's viral is a woman who dipped chicken, crisp chicken,
into Coke. It's just like you eating a chew with a spoon. If a camera catches you, that's going to be news. So she took her fried chicken and dipped it into Coke and ate, and that was during the US Open. So a camera caught her and it went viral as well. Within the space of a few hours, as it was put up, about 8,000 retweets were done on that,
Why was it viral? Is it...
Well, it's just as I said, like you an African eating a chew with a spoon. If somebody who has passion for that has to catch you with that kind of activity.
It makes news.
Yeah, it makes
the other thing making news is the Santa Akum hold-up.
Yes, that problem actually on Saturday, CRTV has been talking about it. It is on CRTV web and it's also
going around.
Yeah, even on BBC and many other places, talking how a group of armed men actually cut the road at Akum into 2, preventing travelers that Saturday night from getting to their destination. Yes, so most of them had to go back, and buses were destroyed while one person was killed during that incident. You have images of people who were stranded and had to go back to Bamenda that night.
Well, another thing is on CRTV web is we will find comments and reactions on this about this program and other things.
Yes.
You did say you have Henri Akam who says it is a good thing to talk about sexuality to our children to better educate them.
Yes.
That should be in response to another topic in the news.
That issue of the Form 2 textbook that is making news that they are trying to introduce children to sex early. But the National Pedagogy Inspector for Life Sciences says that it is very important that parents start talking sex education to their children while they are are still very young.
I would prefer to talk about it at home, though. I don't want my children to start learning about it in
That
school.
is it. So parents should start it at home while the teachers take the relay, so that it doesn't get...
It should be in tandem.
So that children should not be made victims of sexual harassment and all what you can imagine that is going on in our society too.
Thank you. I think most of the parents who complain, if I heard them well, is that it should be a partnership, and it should start from
and that
parents.
opinion of Mr.
Henry Akam.
Yes, it's found on CRTV website.
Okay.
You can get there and read more.
You can also comment, and we'll probably be sharing your comments as we go. I want to remind you that at 8:10 tomorrow you have Eric Christiania, who will be here to do it in French, and of course at 6 o'clock Diane Gassa is here to wake up the nation. Let's go back to our superstar who released 2 EPs, and he says those are 2 first steps into an album that will be released soon. Tell me about the project of the album. What message overall do you want to send out, Wanshe?
Basically, I would like to say that I'm a conscious rapper. I like to talk about things that ail society. So my album basically is going to be all about that.
Okay.
It's basically going to be me as a youth trying to give back to society intellectually. Yes, so my album is going to be all about that.
You're also about Sabi Boy Records. Tell us about that.
Yes, Sabi Boy Records. That's my record label. I not only want to be an artist, but I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. So I created Sabi Boy Group. Under Sabi Boy Group, you have the record label, you have the clothing line, you have the artist management business. So I have a lot going on right now. But most importantly, I'm looking forward to the Camel Fest 2018 that's coming up this month, 28th to 30th in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Where I'll be
You'll be present?
Yes, I'll be representing.
To represent 237. Thank you so much, Wanshe, for being on the program. Thank you, all of you, for joining us. We'll be back on Thursday with more for you. And tomorrow, wake up with Diane Gassa, and later on with Eric Christiania. For us, it's bye-bye on this very beautiful video by a very, very witty singer, rapper, Wanshe. Bye-bye. To say thank you to you, and to say we are looking forward to be with you again on Thursday.